Long before supermarkets were filled with shampoos, conditioners, and hair serums, African women had sophisticated hair care traditions. Across the continent, women used plants, oils, butters, clays, and herbs to cleanse their hair, to keep it moisturized, and to make detangling a lot easier, as well as scalp care. In this video, I'm going to show you some of the remarkable plants that formed part of the traditional hair care system. I'm Kudzai Msengi. I'm not a doctor. I'm somebody who loves learning, and I've spent the last 10 years sharing what I've learned about African foods to help other people live healthier lives. Now let's get straight into it. For people with tightly coiled hair, detangling is one of the most important steps in the entire hair care routine. Hair often breaks during detangling because individual strands catch onto one another. The more force that is required to separate those strands, the greater the risk of breakage. This is why slip matters when it comes to afro-textured hair. Slip reduces the friction between the strands of hair and allows knots to separate a lot easier. Several African plants naturally produce a gel-like substance that is great for this effect. The first one is okra. Most people know okra as a vegetable with the slimy texture when you cook it. That slime comes from polysaccharides and soluble fibers that absorb water and form a gel. For hair, that gel can coat the strands and reduce friction during detangling. Many people who use homemade okra compare it to commercial detangling products because of the amount of slip that it provides. That improves manageability in the hair by reducing the breakage during the detangling process. This is one of the simplest ways to improve length retention over time. I am very guilty of not doing this. The second plant is baobab leaves. Baobab leaves are used in many African cuisines because they create a naturally slippery texture when you cook them. Like okra, baobab leaves contain mucilage, and that helps the strands to glide past one another more easily. The baobab tree appears throughout African wellness traditions. Its fruit is eaten and is a great source of vitamin C. Its leaves are cooked and its seeds produce an oil, which we will talk about later in the video. Different parts of the tree of life contribute to multiple stages in the hair care routine. The third plant is flaxseed. When flax seeds are boiled in water, they release soluble fibers that create a thick gel. That gel provides excellent slip and can help reduce friction between strands during detangling. Flaxseed gel also forms a light film around the hair shaft, improving manageability. Many people use flaxseed gel both as a detangler and also as a styling product. Next up, we have aloe vera. Aloe vera contains polysaccharides that attract and hold water. The gel helps lubricate the hair shaft and makes it easier to comb. Aloe is one of the few plants that can contribute to detangling, conditioning, and scalp care all at the same time. Step 2 is cleansing the hair. After the hair has been detangling, the next step is cleansing. Modern shampoos rely on surfactants to remove oils and dirt as well as product buildup. Several African plants contain naturally occurring compounds called saponins that perform a similar function. Saponins have a unique structure. One part of the molecule interacts with water and the other part interacts with oils. This is what allows the dirt and the oil to be lifted away during washing. The first of these saponin-rich plants is the African soapberry. African soapberry contains high levels of saponins. When mixed with water, the plant creates foam, and that can be easily used for cleansing. This natural lather helps to remove dirt and excess oils from the hair as well as the scalp. Scientists classify saponins as a natural surfactant because of its ability to interact with both water and oils. Next plant that is used to wash hair is the soap bush. Soap bush is valued for similar reasons. The leaves can be worked into water and create a cleansing lather. Plants like soap bush demonstrate how communities identified useful botanical sources of cleansing compounds long before modern detergents became widespread. Another plant that is used for washing hair is African holly. African holly has been included into African traditional washing practices. It formed part of a broader botanical toolkit that people use to maintain personal hygiene and hair care. When rubbed together in water, the leaves produce a thick, natural lather. This is recognized in local names like Ipupuma, which is Zulu for it foams out, or mutanzwa camelo, which is Venda for milk pail washer. The next cleanser is Rasul clay. This is commonly used in North African countries like Morocco, and it works differently from soap-producing plants. Rather than producing a foam, the clay helps to absorb excess oils and impurities. The clay contains minerals like magnesium, silica, and potassium. High levels of silica coat and condition the hair shaft, producing a glossy sheen and noticeable bounce in the hair. Rasul clay is still very popular in natural hair care routines. Step 3 is conditioning the hair. Conditioning focuses on improving softness and reducing friction, making the hair easier to manage. Several African plants contain compounds that help to support these goals. Hibiscus is actually one of the more interesting plants in the natural hair care routine because different parts of the plant can be used in different ways. Hibiscus leaves contain mucilage similar to that which is found in okra and aloe. When it is applied to the hair, that mucilage forms a coating which improves the softness and manageability of hair. Although most people focus on the flowers, the leaves are particularly useful in hair preparations because of that slippery texture. Aloe vera deserves another mention because of its remarkable versatility. Its high water content helps to hydrate the hair. Its polysaccharides help to improve softness, and the gel-like texture contributes towards manageability of the hair. Few plants perform so many useful functions in a single hair care routine like aloe vera. If you're enjoying this video, please consider subscribing so we can learn and grow together. Now back to the video. Moisturizing the hair. Moisture and moisture retention are not the same thing. Hair absorbs water during washing, but that moisture can be lost very quickly if nothing helps to slow the evaporation. This is where oils and butters become important. Baobab oil is extracted from the seeds of the baobab tree. It contains oleic acid, linoleic acid, as well as vitamin E. These compounds help to soften the hair and to reduce moisture loss. Because it's relatively lightweight compared to some butters, people find it useful for regular application onto the hair. Shea butter is rich in stearic acid, oleic acid, and other fatty compounds. Its thicker consistency helps to create a protective barrier around the hair shaft. This slows down moisture loss and can help to improve softness over time. The popularity of shea butter in modern hair care products reflects these properties that African women have appreciated for centuries. Mafura butter comes from the seeds of the mafura tree. It grows across parts of Zimbabwe, Mozambique, South Africa, Malawi, as well as other surrounding regions. Mafura butter is often used to condition the hair, protect braided hairstyles, reduce friction during grooming, and maintain the scalp. Mafura butter also makes a great body butter, so it's a great all-rounder. Marula oil comes from Southern Africa and it contains oleic acid, antioxidants, as well as vitamin E. It's lighter than many butters and it absorbs relatively quickly. Many people use marula oil to add softness and shine without creating that heavy feeling on the hair. It also makes for a great face oil because it absorbs very quickly into the skin. Another popular oil is argan oil. Argan oil comes from Morocco and is rich in vitamin C, oleic acid, as well as linoleic acid. These fatty acids help to smooth the surface of the hair shaft as well as improve manageability. When it is used before heat styling, argan oil may help to reduce some of the damage that is caused by heat tools, such as blow dryers and straighteners. Today, argan oil appears in countless commercial products. This is because it conditions and protects both the hair and the skin. Now, what makes all of these butters so valuable is what they contain. Oleic acid helps to soften the hair. Stearic and palmitic acids also help to reduce moisture loss by forming a protective layer around the hair shaft. Essential fatty acids help to support the scalp health. These compounds explain why these ingredients are still valued parts of African hair care traditions. Next up is scalp care. The scalp contains the hair follicles that produce the hair, the blood vessels that deliver the nutrients, the oil glands that help to protect the skin, and the immune cells that help to maintain the scalp environment. This means if we are talking about healthy hair, we also need to talk about scalp health. One of the most common scalp complaints people experience is dandruff. What's interesting is that dandruff is not always caused by the same thing. Sometimes the flakes are just simply the result of a dry scalp. In those situations, improving moisture levels may help improve comfort by reducing flaking. This is where oils such as baobab oil, marula oil, and argan oil become really useful. All three contain fatty acids, including linoleic acid, which is an omega-6 fatty acid. Linoleic acid is an important component of the skin barrier. When that barrier becomes compromised, the scalp can become dry, uncomfortable, and more prone to flaking. Another plant that deserves mention here is moringa. Moringa is not known as an anti-dandruff plant. Moringa seed oil is rich in oleic acid and antioxidants, which makes it a particularly useful oil for conditioning and moisturizing the scalp. In other cases, scalp flaking may be associated with an overgrowth of naturally occurring microorganisms that just live on your scalp. This is where several African plants with incredible cleansing properties and compounds come into play. First of these is neem. Neem is one of the most researched plants used in traditional wellness practices. Its leaves contain compounds that have attracted scientific interest because of their antimicrobial activity. This is why neem is also included in scalp care preparations designed to help manage dandruff and flaking and itchiness. Another interesting plant is the plant known as African wormwood. African wormwood contains oils that contribute to its distinctive scent. Traditionally, it is used in cleansing as well as washing preparations, and some people include it in scalp care routines when dealing with itchiness or irritation. This is one of the most widely recognized medicinal plants in southern Africa and has been valued for generations because of this versatility. Sometimes the goal of scalp care is simply to stimulate the scalp, and that's what brings us to African ginger. African ginger contains aromatic compounds that create a warming sensation when you apply it to the skin. For this reason, many traditional hair care systems included scalp massage as part of their routine. I think it's also worth mentioning conditions such as psoriasis. Psoriasis is very different from ordinary dandruff because it is a complex autoimmune condition. There is no single African plant that can be considered a cure for psoriasis. However, some people use soothing ingredients such as aloe vera or neem or moisturizing oils like baobab, marula, or argan oil as part of their overall scalp care routine. And that helps to improve the comfort as well as manage the dryness of their scalp. When you look across Africa, you can see that women were using many different parts of the plant for hair care. Africa is a diverse continent with many more plants that I didn't cover in this video. Otherwise, this video would just be too long. I've left links to the ingredients that I've discussed in this video below in the description section. So far, we focused on caring for the hair that you can actually see. But healthy hair begins long before it emerges from our scalp. Have you ever stopped to think what a hair follicle actually needs to produce strong, healthy hair in the first place? Well, that is what we're going to be discussing in the next video. I thank you for your attention, and I'll see you in the next one.